Morning, guys. How you doing? Well, I'll just start out by saying I was at the Science Center this last weekend with my kids. It was family day, so we took them down. We have the year pass, blah, blah, blah. And we went and saw the IMAX, A Beautiful Planet or A Beautiful World, whatever it's called. And it was awesome. Go check it out if you are in town and have the time. But it brought up so much. My kids and I are just sitting here watching the show, and it's pretty cool. But it was talking about and picturing our planet and our galaxy within the entirety of what we know of at this point as our universe or whatever. And as most of you know, which is nothing new, we're just a little dot, and not even at the center of the what we know of as the universe. We're in the outskirts of the shit outskirts, the backwaters, if you will, of the absolute, or the center, if you want to call it that. And it's where I'm at right now, and it's kind of coming up in conversations, but it triggered a lot for me. And I've talked about it actually a few times this week, not related, or maybe seemingly so, but I wanted to kind of put it out today with a bit of a talk or a rant. Because when you look at something like a picture from NASA and it's showing like this pale blue dot of nothingness, and there's all this, and we're like, way the fuck over here, it really puts it obviously in perspective. And so we bring up this kind of scientific, for what we think of as science and what our science can actually give us, which is kind of, in the true sense, a limited viewpoint. I mean, there's so much more that our science can't even fathom or understand based on the limitation of what we know as science. Holy shit. And it just goes off, and it just kind of shows, and for me at this time, I'm looking at it and going, oh my God, how arrogant and how ignorant are we, in the sense that we think we're so important and we think we know everything and we have fancy phones, so we got our shit together. We're very small on the totem pole, if you want to think of it as such. So this brings up the next bit, which I've been talking about a lot this week. And if we are at the truth of what we know scientifically, insignificant in relation to a larger perspective, well then why the fuck should we care? Why can't we just do our thing? And that's where it's like, whoa, wait a second. I wasn't saying that. Now we are in the shit backwaters, the outskirts, the infantile stages of what I consider development. True, but that doesn't mean it's a waste of time or it's useless. And so this brings back the idea that we're just getting started in terms of what we are developmentally. And this is something that I believe in, and have done various research on over the years, and religions and spirituality and philosophy and all that shit. And it's kind of exciting because it really is, for me, if you can't tell already, something I get really animated about, really excited about, because it's very passionate, where we're looking at a comparative of like a seed being small and somewhat insignificant in comparison to the tree. And we're like, it's just a fucking seed. It's worthless. Let's just throw it away. But no, there's something to be said for that, because you plant the seed and you wait, and there has to be a process of starting somewhere. Now, maybe it's not comparatively like awesome or grand or the center or the epicenter, but we have to start somewhere and move towards that. So this time, in my opinion, with where we're at in terms of development, is a very necessary time, but it's not perhaps where it is we think we are. So it's humbling. But here comes in the responsibility, because the scientific model, or what we know of in terms of a larger perspective, can kind of bring about what a lot of people feel as apathy, and just like, fuck it, whatever. And the selfishness. But let's look around and let's look at the times, in the sense that we have a lot of people who are feeling the same way. And that's a good thing, and that is, or can be, a bad thing. And so, yes, we are here to move forward And yes, it's going to take billions of eons of years, etc. But that's not so important to look at right now. Even in this developmental stage, I consider this time to be very important. And when you look around, it brings out responsibility. So we're looking around at gun shootings. We're looking around at, cataclysmic weather conditions. We're looking at fuckers like Trump and all of these things. And in a sense, you can think about Trump, for example, or Americana, whatever, as the poster child for this kind of tone of frustration, then one of apathy, etc. So, when we're looking around, I think this is really exciting because it's really truly time, in my opinion, to wake up. And that is why I feel essentially we're here, and why someone like Trump or something like, crazy gun violence in the States is just like, holy shit, we got to wake up. This is our responsibility, not someone that we're paying for, or someone that we voted for, or someone that we've designed to organize this. This is all our responsibility. And so this time is, and perhaps, maybe not so pretty. And maybe, holy fuck, we don't survive. Maybe we're so stupid, we rid ourselves from the planet. And maybe that's how it goes. But my point is, this is a necessary time to really birth opening up, seeing what we are, using this time to help each other out, whatever that means. Now, as I said before, it might not be pretty, and this whole new era in terms of the hierarchy might be kind of ugly, but it is necessary. And there's a real beauty to that. Now, I don't know what it's going to go or what it's going to do, but I do believe and feel very much so that it is right how it has to be and necessary. And so that's really kind of exciting. And I don't know how I even got started on this rant, but it's quite a beautiful one, and it's going to kind of help us in this time of escapism, of denial, of frustration, to hopefully pull it together. And we have all of the necessary tools, all of the minerals, so to speak, to make that a reality. But it's going to take a few more of us to kind of buck up, a few more of us to kind of own our positions and have the courage to step forward in terms of what we believe versus kind of sidestep and give it to someone else. So I saw that thing at the Science Center. I'm looking around at the news. I'm reading the people. I'm feeling the people. I am the people, etc. And it's all kind of coming in, which is really, really quite beautiful. And I think we got something here to chew on, something here to kind of play with. So there you go. There's my rant for the week. I'm fucking crazy, right? I wish you well, and I wish you a fabulous weekend. Thank you so much.